Greece and its creditors talked through the weekend on reforms the country hopes will enable it to get additional loans before it runs out of cash next month. I'm joined by Blanka Kolenikova, an analyst with IHS in London. Blanka, welcome.
Good afternoon.
How would you describe progress made over the weekend? Is it going to be enough for the creditors?
Well, the progress has been so far slow. Greece has proposed the measures and the reforms. However, the creditors see them as lacking details on how they are going to be implemented, but also lacking substance, as in the past they said that whatever Greece produced in February was good, but only as a starting point, and they will need more.
Why, in your opinion, does the Greek government face some pressures that make it difficult to try to fully adhere to the demands the creditors are making?
Well, Greece is currently stuck between a hard place and a rock. Basically, the government realizes that Greece needs external funding to meet its financial obligations. However, renegotiating the bailout and the austerity measures and the reforms attached to that was a cornerstone of its pre-election campaign. And the government knows that if it starts breaching these pre-election promises, then it will likely increase several domestic risks, such as risk of government instability, but also the risk of political violence in Greece.
Do you think in the end there will be an agreement that is reached, or will these demands by creditors to see real change and not just reforms on paper be a huge stumbling point as Greece faces that April 20th deadline?
Well, the negotiations are likely to be difficult, but our assessment is that there will be some concessions and some agreement ultimately. The question remains if the creditors will be willing to release the funds if they see lack of implementation of the reforms and the measures which Greece promises. That basically means that if Greece only offers the reforms on the paper, but there is a lack of progress in implementation or very limited progress in implementation. This is something that the creditor countries have been very frustrated about in the past and are continues to be frustrated even during the current negotiations.
What's the likelihood that it actually happens, that Greece does everything the creditors want in terms of moving forward, again, beyond talks and what's written on paper?
The creditors will demand the action. We have so far seen some commitment from the Greek government, for instance, in regards to the tax evasion and the tackling the corruption, which have proven to be issues in the past. And Greece has produced some steps how to tackle them. However, they will still need to offer more concrete steps and more concrete reforms and even cost-cutting measures in the past, which will convince the creditors and increase credibility in their eyes.
Blanka Kolenikova, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
I'm Rhonda Schaffler for The Street.